I was scared to share this story publicly. I'll be honest, just for the sake of full transparency and disclosure, I was scared to share. I've been thinking a long time about how I want to share the soul lessons that I received from journeying with ayahuasca for the first time in Peru. I keep hearing from Spirit and from Grandmother Aya that these are important lessons that I learned, that I received the downloads for a reason, and that they helped me open my heart space and my heart chakra so much that I imagine if they help someone else in a similar way. I mean, I can only hope that it will, but without them having to go all the way to Peru and go through the intense purging process that I went through with Aya. If they don't want to, if they don't feel called to, they can still take away my story or pieces of my story that align with theirs. Forgive me for the external noise in this video. I am in a public garden and I just so happened to choose the busiest day of the month to come here. Apparently there is free entrance for county residents on the first Tuesday of the month. So here I am and here they all are. But that is neither here nor there. So the first download was something that I have been sitting with for a long time, and I think it was unconscious. And it must have been in my shadow, and it was something that Grandmother Aya brought up for me. Everything is a ceremony. Everything in life can be a ceremony. Ritualize everything. So when you agree, when you set the intention to sit with ayahuasca, you are already entering into ceremony. This is something that my Reiki teacher and plant medicine guide relayed with me pretty much as soon as I set the intention. And it's really vivid. It was very vivid for me because I immediately entered into communion with Aya. I'm talking like I was hearing her voice calling me. I was receiving visions that she was gifting me with, that I am honored to have received and to still continue to receive, albeit not as vividly. But still, she's there. When you set the intention and when you make the sacrifices that she asks of you, the communion, the tether that you become bonded to her with is immense and vibrant and strong. So she brought up this thing for me that I think was in my shadow that I didn't realize previously was something that would come up to be worked with while I was in ceremony. And that is that I was constantly in pursuit of magic. I said it as like this cute little thing, right? And it is cute, I think. But because I said that I was always pursuing magic, it put me in the role of actively being a seeker of something outside of myself. So I wasn't necessarily able to call upon my own wellspring of that magic, of that creativity, of that divine connection with source, with spirit. But when you recognize that your whole life can be ceremony, that your whole life can be a series of rituals in which you devote yourself, it changes that. It changes the passivity of the role that I was engaging with before. It put me into the driver's seat. And that was a theme that continued throughout my ceremony and that I will share as we go on. I think I'll probably have to record this in parts because I just keep getting cut off, and that's okay. Maybe there's clearly a lesson from my external environment or from my physical reality that I need to absorb and sit with that as well. I mean, everything can be a lesson too. I prefer to think of everything as a ritual though, because it just infuses your life with this vibrancy, this that just brings everything into such sharp relief. And it makes everything really freaking magical all of the time. It makes you realize that you can flip a switch, or you can come back to center and you can call upon that wellspring that exists within you, within all of us. And you can make something of it. You don't always have to be seeking external validation or something outside of yourself in order to create or to speak the things that you want into existence, or to do the things that you say that you're going to do, that you've wanted to do. Maybe you've been sitting on them for a little while now, but you can go do them now. Because if you make it a ritual, if you make it an act of worship, if you lay yourself at the altar of inspiration and love and following the things that you want, following the things that make you feel good, following your bliss. I don't know, I've never really related fully to that quote, but there is an aspect of it that's true. I think this wasn't so much of a game-changing, sort of life-altering lesson or download the way that some of the rest of my experience with ayahuasca was, but it was more of a remembrance of something that was already there, that I was looking outside of myself for. And that's a big thing with Aya, and I think with plant medicine in general, although I only have experience with Aya and with psilocybin and with cannabis, but I don't know if that really counts. I'm from California. And because it was a little bit too busy for me to record a proper conclusion or outro or whatever you want to call it, I just wanted to mention that that was part 1, and there will be more to come soon. Thank you for listening.